This is the DagogetaTv. I'm your guy, Deme D. This is an episode of If You Ask Me, Hip Hop Debate. That's where we talk that music and movie culture from the late 80s to the mid 20s. Segment 3, back in the building with my guys. Dutch in the building, Stro Mac. You know, we're going to keep it pushing, man. Again, make sure y'all subscribe, share, hit that red button. This topic, man, we're going to talk about some hip hop shit right here. We're going to talk about who did you think was nicer at the time? Grand Puba or Lord Finesse? And we just talking about strictly, you know, the bars and the flows and shit like that. Who did you think was nicer, be Grand Puba or Lord Finesse?
You can take this verse.
I'm going with Finesse.
Going Finesse?
I'm going with Finesse. Grand Puba, I really did like. I think he definitely had bars, but I'm going with Finesse, B. I'm going with Finesse.
You think he had better bars?
I think Finesse had better bars.
To me, it's two answers. It's two answers for me. But if we're just talking strictly bars, because both of them to me are similar.
Don't set up no disclaimers, Strong.
No. Both of them are similar. But if we're talking about bars, it's Lord Finesse. But not by much. It's not a landslide. Not by much. It's Lord Finesse in regards to if we're talking about lyrical bars. If we're talking about a better artist, I think Grand Puba's a better artist.
I'll give you that.
He's a better artist.
I'll give you that.
Bars-wise, like if they go on bar for bar, like on the same beat, it's Finesse.
I
give it to Finesse.
Now, was that the consensus at the time?
At the time, yes.
That first Finesse album, like, was insane to me. Even today, it's still insane to me because I listened to that a few months ago. I revisited that album in
the work
he did
on DITC is fire. Bro.
And his second album, his follow-up album was dope too. I couldn't say the same about Grand Puba. Grand Puba first album to me, The Real was crazy. It was entertaining. It was dope. It had, I love the beats.
I think 2000 is better than Real, but like I said, I'm coming from a different perspective. Though.
Because to me, the production on Real to me was better than the production on, because the 2000 to me was more melodic. It was definitely. But the production on the first album had that boom bap. It had that, like, to me, it starts off with that hard drum beat and it just coming in. It's just like you just bobbing your head.
I think Grand Puba is a better and more polished artist.
He is, because you can put him on anything.
Better.
Yeah, he got a better flow. He got better flow, and his punchlines are like fit with like R&B tracks. It fits.
Oh, okay. I'm saying
because he works with Mary. Like he put it with Mary, and that shit is dope. Like
Finesse, you hear the setup. Again, I'm speaking from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I was younger at the time, but Finesse was and Puba was my pops guys. I just feel like Finesse, just that you hear the setup coming. You hear the setup coming from a mile away. And I'm just like...
But was that back then or is it now? Because now, yes, I
back
agree.
Then, that's one of the reasons why I didn't gravitate, because it kind of sounded... It didn't sound as smooth as Puba. But again, like I said, that's why I'm referring to y'all and whoever else who's going to watch this segment. Right. Take my opinion with a grain of salt.
I agree. But to me, that's what puts... I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to me... That's why I think I said Puba's a better artist, because his delivery was smoother. I agree with that. But to me, I still think like Finesse bar for bar, which is his similes and metaphors to me was better.
On point.
Was
and
better.
I even like the comparison. You know what I mean? The comparison to put those two together.
Definitely.
That was a great move. But to that point though, it's like comparing Big Daddy Kane to Kool G Rap. If you like the smoother and the glossier and the better, you're gonna go with Kane. Mm-hmm. You know, but if you like that raw and that hard shit, you're gonna go with Kool G, and you know that's just the way it is.
Yeah, like
and I just think that Finesse was, you know, more raw than
because like Finesse, I don't see anybody other than the ITC doing features. Like nobody, I don't think anybody's like, we need Finesse on this track with us, unless it's maybe a super like underground or hardcore dude. But with Puba, it was like, like I said, one of his bigger joints was him and Mary. Yeah. You know, and he helped with Brand New being like to blow them up on the first time. But even though personally, I like Lord Jamal better than Puba. But Lord Jamal
on that first album?
No, I think on the first album, it was Puba.
Yeah,
it was Puba. But when I heard the second album without Puba, it made me like
appreciate.
Lord Finesse is nice. Sadak's nice too.
Yeah.
Sadat is
you mean
nice.
Lord Jamal?
Yeah, I mean Lord Jamal. I was like, Lord Jamal is nice. Yeah. When I heard them by themselves without Puba, because I think Puba kind of overshadowed them. Yeah. But But that's the type of artist he is. Like, he was smooth, he was polished.
Yeah.
Yo, what was it? Rugby's, that was his thing. Like,
I mean, Finesse had charisma too. I didn't get that impression.
He
wasn't
witty.
like rude to me. Like, you know
he was witty.
He wasn't
Finesse, remember
swagless.
last night's action? Yeah. I mean, Finesse was cool. Finesse was like, he was witty and he had the sarcasm. That's why I like it. Finesse, remember last night's action? I don't know nothing today. Nothing happened.
Plus, I didn't realize he was that young too when he first came out. You know,
that wasn't Puba. That was Lord Finesse.
That's what I meant. That's what I said.
I didn't realize he was that young. But salute to my pops, yo, because I asked him this question as well, because those was both his guys, and I had to be sure to say, he said Puba edges him out with the swag. But those was both his guys right there. So, make sure y'all tap in right there. Let us know who you got. You can say they equal. They both made their marks in the game and definitely got a lot of influence over the latest spitters in the game as well.
And shout out to Finesse. He's also a DJ and a producer.
And a producer, he don't
a DJ and a producer.
Don't really get
so
mentioned like that.
Yeah, he doesn't get mentioned.
So
DITC, baby.
We're gonna talk about a classic. I don't know. Yeah, it's a classic, man. A classic staple in the hip hop culture. We're gonna talk about New Jack City, man. This features, Ice-T as far as the rappers who, when we talk about a movie in these segments. So I just want to ask, man, we're not gonna talk about what you thought about it, because we all know at this point that shit is one of the biggest movies in that genre. Right. But initially, when it dropped, what were your thoughts about it? Was it just something more raw than you've ever seen? Because I know some people say that's one of the most raw shit they've seen as far as that light. Or did you think it was cheesy? Did you think Ice-T ruined the movie with his, with his acting? Or
no, I thought it was hot. Because we didn't have like a lot of hip hop artists in movies, and I wasn't expecting him to play that role, and he bodied it. Yeah. He bodied it, like that was a good role. Excuse me. So I really thought that joint was fire.
Yeah, I agree too. And not only just that, but like the movies, before then the movies that had hip hop was basically like hip hop movies. Like
it was about some comedy shit.
Or comedy, like the Fat Boys, they did a lot of comedy shit, which much respect to them. But this was like real, and not just, but the movie to me, not only just that, but I mean, Ice-T's sometimes his acting was over the top on that, but other than that, sometimes he was.
You killed the school teacher.
Yeah, when he was telling about. Yo, no, you know what's even worse? You know what's even worse when your man was talking to Pookie and he said something to him completely, and he was like, you know who you owe? You owe my mother. Your man Chris Rock was like, what? You owe my mother. Because a crackhead like you with him. I was like, word? I was like, okay, you doing too much.
I'm gonna give it his props, yo.
It
was an early stage of his acting. But other than that, like the movie has so many classic lines, like, Pookie, it's just calling me. It's just calling me.
It was good.
The only thing in the movie that I hated was Wesley Snipes' haircut. That's the only shit I
love that shit, B. I love that shit, B. That was Blade Brown, man. That was Blade Brown.
His shit was like this. His shit was like this.
That was Blade Brown and Blade. Because he wasn't Blade Brown. It's the kid played. That was a kid played.
Like the Blade Brown. That kid was wild. I'm like, he really get this cut. But other than that, I like the cameos. I feel like when you're in the club and you see like all the hip hop artists, stars, R&B stars that we know that was big was there. Like, it was a hip hop movie without being a hip hop movie to me. And it was dope. The action was it was cool. The scenes was crazy. Like, I ain't never seen a movie. Nigga got with a shotgun, butt ass naked, walking in the streets. Like, the Carter now belongs to the brothers. Slapped him on the ass cheek and let them go. I like, this movie's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Some people was like, that's one of the first raw shit.
But people ain't like it though. Like you come across people that ain't
I'm saying a lot of people saying they ain't seen nothing that raw like that before. In that genre. But I never met. Well, a conservative type person maybe, but I never really met nobody that said it was wags, but maybe a little, over the top acting, but yeah, man, make sure y'all tap in right there. New Jack City, if you ain't see that by now, check in Grand Puba and Lord Finesse as well. They both have some lengthy catalogs. And Grand Puba was a part of Brand Nubians. Lord Finesse was down with DITC. This is the DagogetaTv where hip hop lives, man. I'm your guy, Deme D. Make sure y'all subscribe, share, hit that red button. If you ask me, you already.
Rock a bomb, baby.